Mr. Bill, here we are at the SMMT South test day.
Yes, I think it's a great opportunity to try out many different vehicles from many different manufacturers.
Yes, all in the same place on the same day.
Indeed.
They do know who we are, don't they?
I hope so.
Yes, perhaps if they look at our videos, they might not invite us back. But let's not think about that now. There's just one problem, though.
And what's the problem?
I've forgotten my tweed jacket. Welcome to Slightly Shambolic SMMT review.
Anger, and every time you haven't got it right, you're one of us. Do you know and do you know that you are not? Do you know and do you know that you are not? It's important for you to realise that you are not gonna notice.
Here we are, viewers. The Fiat 500e. That's quite nice and easy to steer. BMW will let us go out. This is a completely different car from the one that's been on sale since 2007. But actually, I don't know if this will go out before or afterwards, but I recently filmed a 2009 500 1.2 Lounge belonging to Mr. Bill's lady friend. So it's really interesting to have too. That car is actually still on sale in one form or another, because although it's had a number of updates and the powertrain is completely different, it's actually still fundamentally the same car that was launched back in 2007, and the underpinnings date back to 2003 with the second generation Panda. But this is completely new, and although it feels sort of familiar, we've got, instead of a 1.2 fire engine with 69 horsepower, we've got 118 brake horsepower electric motor that has I think a battery size of 42 kilowatts. We'll go over some of the range specific stuff a little bit later, but let's just see how this actually drives. We've got some speed bumps coming up here, which is always a test of what suspension's like, and that's actually quite soft. It's not a firm ride in this by any means. It took a while to get used to some of the controls in here, because the volume control for the stereo is actually between the front seats. Although that's not a bad place for it particularly, it took a while to find it. And the climate controls of the car are separate, which is a great thing. I really like that. However, they're all the same size, pretty much, apart from the sort of up and down thing for the heating, the auto button. They're all the same size and they're all the same colour, which sort of means that, well, you know, it's a bit tricky to actually see what's going on. 0 to 60 in this car is about 9 seconds. I can well believe it. We have got a bit of a camber shake going on. The road isn't the smoothest. We'll just go through these bends. There is also a smaller battery size available. I believe that is 23.7 kilowatt hours. The range on this is about 199 miles on a WLTP cycle. Certainly, it feels really nice and easy. Some steering actually seems to weight up a little bit when you're going faster, and I've got regen braking on as well, which I like. I like regenerative braking very much. So we go here. Excellent. So we're just going to park up now, and we will have a look at the car a little bit closer detail. So the Fiat 500e, it feels really strange, given it's been less than a week since I filmed the standard petrol 500, although I don't know if you'll see this review before or after that. I might put it before, just so that we actually have the comparison. It's not the same, but it sort of is. I mean, the door handles are completely different, the lights are completely different. This car's got front parking sensors, it's extraordinary. The only thing is, this car's sort of increased in price a little bit from before. Now, but the old 500 when it came out was quite affordable. I think it started at about £10,000. This is about double that in the sort of most basic form. And then if you want a version like this is called the Icon, this particular trim. Then you're going to be spending over £20,000. But what exactly do you get for your money? Well, we'll have a look at the boot, which I think is the same actually in terms of size as the previous car. The lights are completely different as well. They've not got that little hole in the middle of them that the post facelift car had from about 2015. Electric release. Now the boot's not biggest, it's about 185 litres. Underneath here, and the charging cables it shows we've got a 3-pin granny lead, I think they call them, and then a Type 2 connector in there. There's only, apart from the lucky wheel nuts, there's actually only a tyre repair kit in there. There's not a space saver or anything like that. There is a boot light. We've got the little tiny parcel shelf, the smallest parcel shelf in the world. Given that a lot of the people who buy a car like this might be smaller in stature than me, I'm 5'11", it's nice to see they've got a little pull tag there, although doing that with actually one hand is a little bit difficult when you've got a camera in the other one. First thing camera in this, of course, it's weird that the Fiat badge is different. There's no sort of circle around it anymore. See where the charging flap is, which is just here. There we go. The Type 2 and CCS connectors are just there. It's a funny little door handle as well, you just sort of pull like that. This colour is called Cloud Grey, by the way. It is a standard colour on the car. There are two ways of getting out of the car. You can use this little button to release the door from the inside, and you see a picture of the Nuova 500, just the 500, I think we call them, from 57, just in here, although that's a later model because the door handle is on the rear of the door, not on the front. Electric mirrors, electric windows, that's the emergency release, just in case you're wondering about what happens if that electric thing doesn't actually work. Side airbags, of course, in this as well. Same kind of release and procedure for getting into the back as in the previous car. It does slide forward. This isn't going to be elegant, viewers. Just... Whoa! Did it, viewers. Right. Oh. It feels just the same in here as it did in the other 500. Only 4 seats. Oh, this is Sequel. This is a fabric that's made from recycled ocean plastic. So if I put the seat back in my drive position, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's not looking good. I'm going to release myself from my self-imposed prison. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about something else rather than the amount of room in the back, shall we? We do have a place to put the key so you can charge it. There is a USB port here, and there's a 12-volt socket, which is great. E-mode, I think we might have to go with that in a second on the way back. We'll see if the different modes do in terms of the driving. But for now, I'm going to get out. I'm not going to show it on camera, viewers, because it won't be very elegant. Okay, so here we are on the inside of the 500e. I've got my secret mission documents here, so I can talk a bit more about things like trim levels and talk about the charging and everything like that. So this is a 10.25 inch display. There is eco leather available on some of the other trims. It's really strange. I thought the trims were La Prima, Lounge, Pop, Star and Passion. But it seems like this is called the Icon trim, which is different from the information I've got. Never mind. Automatic lights on this stock here. That I think is to do with the lane keeping assist or lane departure warning. Automatic wipers. And then buttons on here. The buttons feel very nice quality. It's a nice steering wheel actually, with a little sort of cutout at the bottom. It feels very, very good. Here are the gear lever controls, I suppose. Park, reverse, neutral, drive. Volume control is down here. Hazard light warning switch is there, which is good, and the door locking buttons. Already shown what's on the door. Those are the buttons for things like the fog lights and the parking sensors and turning off the traction control. I think that's perhaps light height adjustment or something, because the lights look like they're just on here, so I presume that's what it is. If we press the start stop button, which I believe is just here, it's not really an engine, it's an electric motor, but we'll, you know, wait to go back. E mode, we've got Sherpa, which is, I have to turn this on. Right, vehicle drive, good. Right, so we're on Sherpa mode. But Sherpa mode actually means that you conserve a lot of range by turning off things like the air conditioning. Right, volume. Good, volume button. I know where it is now. So you can go through the E modes. Why can't we go through the E modes? Can I go through the E modes? Oh, yes, right. Hold on a second, viewers. Weirdly, the car doesn't seem to want to let me change the modes for some reason. So if I do this again, maybe I can do it if I turn the car on again. Can I, if I hold the brake pedal, will that do anything? Okay, it's ready to drive. Let's see if I can change this mode. No. Sorry, viewers. I'm afraid we can't do that. We said we're going to have to sort of look through these controls here. So that we've got a power meter. Got all sorts of settings we could look at in terms of the display. Screen setup. Oh, center, bottom right, all this sort of stuff. That's exciting. And then can we see navigation on the display? Ooh, map. Excellent. That's good. Back. I've got some kind of tutorial mode here as well. Oh, there we are. Trip. Yeah, this is more like it. The driver assist modes. Tyre pressure monitoring. We've got on audio because I don't want any copyright infringement. There we. Oh, yes. That's really neat. I like that, viewers, having the sat nav right in front of the driver. It's quite difficult to do that in most cars. Then there's alerts, and yeah, we're back to the same sort of thing. Great. Cruise control is just on there. Look at this enormous screen. It's a 10.25 inch screen. This actually would be smaller on some of the lower models. The 23.7 kWh battery model has a 93 horsepower engine, by the way, but this 42 kWh battery model, this has a charging time of 15 hours 15 minutes on the 3-pin plug, 4 hours and 15 minutes on 11 kilowatt fast charger, or from the rapid charger, 85 kilowatts, 0 to 80% in 35 minutes. We can see all these little things, the EV pages, controls. It's a really nice screen. It's absolutely lovely. And we can also operate the climate control with these buttons here. I mean, those buttons there and these buttons here. Fantastic, I like that. We can add a phone to it. I'm not going to do that because, well, it's utterly pointless. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, of course, is available for this. You can have 2 phones active on the same time. That's very neat. I quite like this, viewers. It's very nice. It feels quite well made. The materials on here, they're actually hard for some reason, but that's quite nice. The steering wheel does feel good. Lower down, it is hard, but that's okay. And I think, is that the outline of the Turin? That's very nice. Right, I should stop yattering, viewers. Is that a word? Maybe yapping, I think I should say. Turn the car off, and I will have a look under the bonnet. Well, viewers, not an awful lot to see under here, really. Apart from that, we've got the same sort of orange OAT coolant that we have in a lot of petrol engine cars. Mind you, the brake fluid, that is current for the battery, by the way, I think, rather than the motor. And there is the windscreen washer fluid. But there's no substantial engine, of course, because this is the electric version, and the platform never was designed to take a conventional engine. So we haven't got a sort of normal grille, but lower things of cooling, electrical systems and things. And actually it's got gas struts, which is quite nice. Right, I've forgotten to film the glove box with my secret mission documents, so let's do that quickly now. Okay viewers, here are my secret mission documents. Let's see if they go in. No, not a chance. No good for smuggling documents across the border then. And you can't put them in there, they don't fit. And you can't put them in the middle, they don't fit in there either. Never mind, we'll just have to put them over there. Mind you, the rest of the interior is pretty nice. I like this big thing here with a USB in 12-volt socket. That's quite nice, and there is also a cup holder there. And there's nothing there, so you can sort of step through from one side to the other. Oh, is that a particular compartment just on the front of there? Yes, and another cup holder. Wonderful. Right, time for another drive. So, one of the perhaps drawbacks about this car is the price. You can actually buy a top of the range, long range MG5 EV for less money than this particular car. Now we do have some options in here. The paintwork I think is an option, and there are a couple of other things which bring the price to almost £30,000, which I think for a car like this is probably a little bit too much. Certainly you might want to look lower down the range. I've just also realised, having had a look at some of the press information, that the trim levels have totally changed of this car since it first came out for some reason. There's the Action, the La Prime, and also this one, which is the Icon. And I don't know why that particularly is different. I don't know why the information I had before was wrong, so I do apologise. The correct information is on the Fiat website. Certainly the dimensions of this car for something modern are very, very, very small. And it picks up nicely coming out of junction. Just be careful on this road because we've got cyclists in front of us. But certainly just getting past like that, it works really well. But let's see if we can do these driving modes. Yes, E mode, okay, I can do it. I'm on Sherpa, which is the longest range one. There's just range, which maximises the range, and then we've got on here, we've got normal. Although for some reason it's really difficult to change the driving modes in this. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me particularly, but there we go. You have to press it down, then up. There's one Sherpa now, which conserves battery. If I do that again, well, that it's still, for some reason, quite difficult to change for driving modes. So it's normal, range, and Sherpa. That's it. That's all that it is. I don't know why I was so excited and so kind of determined to actually get that done, but anyway, we did. Yeah, nice soft compliant suspension. The dimensions of the car are quite small. It's very, very easy to park, particularly with the reversing camera on this enormous screen in the middle. Just going to be aware of those bumps though, but that's actually got quite soft suspension. Yeah, I quite like this. I don't think that the modes do anything to do with sportiness or anything like that. They don't seem to give me any more kind of sort of power apart from normal, which just maybe seems to just make the car creep along without using the throttle quite well. So put it into Sherpa, I think it sort of increases the regen braking. There we go, we've got maximum regen with Sherpa. So I don't do a throttle response, it's just to do with giving you more regenerative braking. And personally, I like regenerative braking. The only thing is with Sherpa, that shuts off the air conditioning. so you might not want to use that on a really hot day. Or you could just go for the cabriolet version of this car. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed for watching this slightly shambolic SMMT review. It has indeed been very shambolic today. Don't forget to like this video and to leave a comment below. It also really helps if you switch on notifications. I would really appreciate it if you could do that. Also, social media links are down below. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching, and thank you again to Mr. Bill from Wales Wheels for filming.
And every time you haven't got it right, you're one of us. Do you know that you are lost?